Welcome to the Illuminated Path, where I give you a Thursday to Thursday forecast. And this Thursday, I have some ghost stories, or at least one ghost story, because there's some crazy stuff happening. I came out here, I found more blackberries. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous. I'm gonna eat one right now. And then there's crows. There's crows everywhere. There's an entire murder following me, which I love. That's really cool. But my experience this morning, I'll have to tell you about it after I get to your reading, okay? First card that came out, the Messenger of Air. She's a beauty. But the Messenger of Air, there's like two sides to this. Air is all about your intelligence, is all about your thought processes, it's about your mind and the things that you allow your mind to tell you. So on one hand, this could be very expansive. This could be about broadening your perspective, new learnings, things like that. But on the other hand, this card could be talking about the dogma that you really hold on to. This could be about the belief systems that you're being asked to expand or change that you might not have chosen to do so far. Maybe you're holding on to some way that you believe because of your experiences and because they've kept you safe so far. But you're being asked to really take a look at your belief systems and how your thoughts are treating you, because it's time to make a change. It's time to stop the learned responses to things and start responding in a new way. The world is new right now, and Spirit's trying to take you to a new level. So if we can't respond in a new way to the universe bringing us new experiences, then we're going to stop getting new experiences. We're going to stop growing and expanding, and we're going to end up back in the same cycles we were in. It's time to really take a look at this. Now, the second card that came out that was like kind of behind the shadows, a little ghostly, not really wanting to come out, is the Eight of Earth. Earth, you can think of this as if it's pentacles, right? This is your physical, tangible abundance. These are the results made manifest. So we look at the 8, which turns sideways as an infinity symbol of Earth. This is about gaining that knowledge, employing a new craft, a new skill. This is creating the new Earth. This is where we're going after we make the choice to change how we believe, how we think, and how we react to our experiences. We're going to get this new world, guys. We're going to get everything that we want. We're going to get new spiritual gifts. We're going to get new experiences. We're going to get to feel new ways. We're going to get to be in the spaces that we've been dreaming of and trying for so long to manifest. And then it's like here. And we just get to be in the space we've been manifesting. All that it requires is our willingness to accept that that space is created for us and that we're stepping into it. So that's a really good forecast if you can do your work. Now, my ghost story. Okay, so yesterday, I cleansed my entire house and all of the people within my house with coconut water. I cracked a coconut and did a house cleanse. And I could feel in certain places of the house where there was heavier energy than other places for whatever reason. And it was all lifting and coming out. And even my mood was lifting because, I sprinkled some of that coconut water on everyone's heads and foreheads and even on my pets. I sprinkled the water all over the cats and they were like, meow. They didn't like it very much. But things were starting to purge out and come out and cleanse, and the energy was getting heightened. And then, like 6 hours later, I noticed there was this little cord, like a charger cord, but it was like wrapped up like it had never been used before, and it was sitting right next to my bed on the ground, on the floor, and I was confused. I didn't know where it came from, but anything can happen one time, and you can brush it off as a coincidence, right? And I was putting up the laundry, so I just stuck the cord in one of my drawers under my other laundry and was like, it could have come from anywhere. But I'll put this here for later because it's obviously something new and unused. I kid you not. I walked out of the room for 5 minutes. I put the rest of the laundry away in the kids' room, came back, and there was another cord there in the exact same spot. Not even the same cord, because this one was obviously old and used, and the first one had been unused and was still taped in like a round shape. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I asked everyone in the house, did you put this here? Is this yours? And everyone was like, no, no, no. And so I don't know how in the world it got there. But I took the cords and went into the kids' room to ask them one more time, are you sure this isn't yours and you didn't take it in my room? And while I was standing there, I heard a knock inside of their closet. And I thought a cat was locked in there, you know, and I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. If a cat's been locked in that closet all day, I bet there's poop and pee everywhere. And I opened the closet door, nothing's there. Nothing. And my youngest, he's 4, he says, it's not in there, it's under the bed. I said, what do you mean, it? What is it? And why is it under the bed that you are currently sitting on? And so we started pulling things out from under the bed. Obviously nothing was there. And I was freaked out at this point, right? In a very psychotic kind of way, you know, a paranoid kind of way, somebody stalking me. What if somebody came into my house when I was not here and they're messing with me? Have you heard of those OMG chargers where the cord is actually, or even the port that goes into the wall is actually a way to take over your electronic devices? I thought I had a stalker in my house, living in my attic, that comes down and is trying to do things. Anyways, so I'm getting really paranoid, and I don't get paranoid very often. That's not me. And then I start typing a text message after I drop the kids off and, you know, I'm there by myself. I start typing a text message, and one of the words auto-corrected to the word demon. And that was not what I was trying to type. And I was like, okay, I know what's happening now. I shook loose a ghost. I shook loose something that was hidden in some spaces. Because when you take up space, guys, sometimes things get trapped in the walls, or, you know, sometimes when you have negative energy that you're healing through, it kind of releases out of your chakras, but maybe gets stuck in your fascia or your joints, and so you can clear it from there too. So when you take up energetic space in your house, the main rooms and above and below might be pretty clear, but maybe there's parts in the corners, or, you know, parts you don't really look at all the time, where there gets dense, trapped energy stuck. And when I did this cleansing, something shook loose. And this is what's happening with this card pull, okay? But in a good way, because there's stuff that's been stuck in the back of your mind, in the corners, in your fascia, and it's time for it to come out. And that might seem a bit scary, because then there's paranoid things, and oh, what if something bad happens, and crows follow, crows everywhere, you know, what if these crazy things happen? But the reality is that all of this and the shaking loose of those things are bringing to your attention the things that you need to change and release, not necessarily the things that, it's not always, I don't like the word lesson, it's not always a lesson, something I need to learn, but maybe it's something you need to prove to yourself. I've worked through this thing, and I'm going to prove that now I have the confidence, that now I have the stamina, that now I have the drive to do things differently. I'm going to prove to myself that when put in the same situation again, I know how to handle it appropriately in the way that I want to handle it. And then we end up realizing we're just in this new earth all along, that this isn't a ghost town anymore, that it's becoming the place that we've been trying to manifest. So I love you guys. Thanks so much for listening to my ghost story and watching me hawk at crows. And also, happy June. Happy Pride. Got my gay shoes on. So I hope that everyone has a really, really exciting, happy month. And I hope all the homophobes have a really uncomfortable month full of growth and mind expansion. Bye, everybody.